the voice of Kathy Ryan Starr, welcome to this place of peace. May we find some moments of quiet contemplation. Welcome to this place of celebration. May our hearts soar with gratitude for the gift of life. Welcome to this place of sacred love. May we gently hold all that is broken here. Welcome to this place of inquiry. Here, may we be challenged to open our minds and hearts ever wider. May we, together, draw the circle of love and justice ever wider. Welcome to this sacred place. Come, let us worship, celebrate, grieve, and love together. I invite you to rise in body or spirit to join our voices in our opening hymn number 361, Enter, Rejoice, and Come In. Our chalice. In the words of Reverend Scott Taylor, may this flame cast its light toward better days, reminding us that the future is not simply a place we are going, but a place we are creating. The path of new possibilities will not be found, but made. The justice we long for does not sit at end of that inevitable arc. It lies in the bending that is ours to do. A new world is waiting to be built, friends. May our time together light the way. This morning is Not My Idea, a book about whiteness by Anastasia Higginbotham. Now this story is a bit unusually formatted, so we're delivering it to you somewhat abridged and adapted. Our version has 4 voices. A young girl, her mother, a narrator, that's me, and a 4th voice. When grown-ups try to hide scary things from kids. Oh no, not again. What? Mom, what? Not again. It's usually because they're scared too. Who is that with their hands up? Why is that policeman screaming at him? Bang, 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 bang. They want to bury the truth. You don't need to worry about this. You're safe. Understand? No. Our family is kind to everyone. We don't see color. Deep down, we all know color matters. Skin color makes a difference in how the world sees you and in how you see the world. It makes a difference in how much trouble seems to find you or let you be. In stores, in cars, on sidewalks, at school. Your skin color affects the most ordinary daily experiences, including which neighborhoods welcome you. You may get the message that racism is happening only to Black and brown people. Racism is a white person's problem, and we're all caught up in it. That police officer was just doing his job, mostly by refusing to look at it. Come away from the TV now. Look, I made your favorite. You can face this. Understanding the truth takes courage, especially a painful truth about your own people, your own family. Even people you love may behave in ways that show they think they are the good ones. Racism was not your idea. You don't need to defend it. You can bring your curiosity to learn about it and see that it's true. Gee, the library is a good place to find things out. Maybe I'll get some answers there. Our shared history. What's this book? Let's take a look. In the United States of America, white people have committed outrageous crimes against Black people for 400 years. All along, every step of the way, people who love justice and love each other have been fighting back. Many white people did things they never should have done. Denied opportunity.
Bank loan, denied.
Denied housing.
Notice of eviction.
Denied voting rights.
Voter registration test, parts A, B, C, pages 1 through 4, sections 1 through 20.
Many other white people failed to see the problem with this. Exploited the love and labor of Black women. These choices put wealth and power into white hands, homes, and neighborhoods. Racism is still happening. It keeps changing and keeps being the same. And yet, just being here, alive in this moment, you have a chance to care about this, to connect. But connecting means opening. And opening sometimes feels like breaking. I don't feel so good. I need to know what's going on. What are you talking about? Why didn't anyone teach me real history? I do see color. I see yours, mine, and everybody's. You can't hide what's right in front of me. I know what that police officer did was wrong. Okay, geez, you don't have to yell. Go with your instincts on this one. Racial justice is possible, but only if we're honest with each other and ourselves. Your history's not all written yet. What do you want it to say? Want to know whose liberation you are fighting for? your own. White supremacy has been lying to kids for centuries. White supremacy is pretend, but the consequences are real. Whiteness is a bad deal. It always was.
Did somebody say a deal? I love a deal. I've got this contract right here. This is a contract binding you to whiteness. You get stolen land, stolen riches, and special favors. Oh, there's a footnote on that one. Land, riches, and favors may be revoked at any time for any reason. Standard boilerplate contract stuff. Whiteness gets to mess endlessly with the lives of your friends, neighbors, loved ones, and all fellow humans of color for the purposes of profit. I love profit. Whiteness also gets your soul. Please sign below.
Dude, we can see your pointy tails. You can be white without signing on to whiteness. A strong internal sense of justice will not fail you, even when a lack of justice in the world does. Innocence is overrated. Knowledge is power. Get some. Grow wise. Make history. The end. Seated for our prayer hymn number 396, I Know This Rose Will Open. This morning, we light a candle to honor the memory of Trayvon Martin, who died on February 26, 2012. As a young black man of 17, Trayvon was shot without provocation while walking in his neighborhood. In the silence that follows the spoken prayer, you're invited forward to light a candle for any joys and concerns you hold in your heart this morning. Our prayer words this morning are from Laura Horton Ludwig. Spirit of life and love, we are here because we believe what we do matters. We are here because we believe how we live our life matters. That with every act of kindness or meanness, courage or fear, love or hate, we are weaving the fabric of the universe that holds us all. We are here because we need encouragement, because we need strength, because so often we get distracted. We get in a rush. We don't think. We choose the easy way when the harder path is what our spirits truly long for. We are here because none of us is perfect, but together we inspire one another to try again, to take another step. We are here because we have felt the stirrings of love and grace in our hearts and hands, and we crave more of that for ourselves, and not only for ourselves, for everyone. We are here because how we live matters. Blessed be. light a final candle for all else that we hold in our hearts. If your heart is hurting, know that your community is here to help, as is Reverend Jane. Please reach out with any need. Our offering words this morning are from Judith Meyer. Anne Sexton wrote, "Look to your heart that flutters in and out like a moth. God is not indifferent to your need. You have 1,000 prayers, but God has one." We give thanks for those moments when we can feel that we live in a world that is not indifferent to our need. We all have so many needs, 1,000 prayers, 1,000 needs that really only need one answer. Let the world not be indifferent. And may we live and be with each other in the way that shows this truth, whatever the day brings, that neither are we indifferent to each other. For those of you watching the service online, you may contribute to a virtual offering plate using the donate button on our website or by mailing a check to the church office. Will the ushers please come forward? For all that you give and all that you do for our church community and its wider concerns, we give thanks. And speaking of giving to our wider concerns, I invite Jim Caldiero forward now to tell us about our new program of monthly special collections.
Thank you, Ostara. Good morning. Good morning. Ralph Waldo Emerson wrote, "The purpose of life is not to be happy. It is to be useful, to be honorable, to be compassionate, to have it make some difference." Our newly formed special collections team, that's Ostara Hollyoak, Cindy Williams, and me, will offer you the opportunity each month to make a difference by extending our generosity to local, national, and international organizations that share our UU values. Every second Sunday, that makes it easy for you to remember, we will collect cash, that's check, money order, debit cards, whatever, or online, or in-kind donations for any organization that any member or friend of the congregation nominates. Nominations can be made at any time. You can send nominations using the online form on our congregation's website. We'll send you the link. The Special Collections team will keep a list of proposed collection recipients and will let nominators, that's you, or sponsors, know if the nominee has been selected. If the nominee is selected, then the nominator, the sponsor, that's you, will have some tasks to perform, such as notifying the organization, providing a brief message that we can post on our newsletter and website about the organization, and arranging for the organization to send a speaker to briefly speak about the organization during a worship service, or the sponsor could speak. Our first special collection will be March 10th, and will be for food insecurity. Joining with the UU Congregation of Columbia, we will accept cash or in-kind donations, non-perishable food items that will be distributed to our neighbors in need. More details will follow. The hymn says, and I did not know this hymn was going to be sung today, so great minds think alike. But hymn says, we are a gentle, angry people, but we are also a very generous people. To paraphrase cultural anthropologist Margaret Mead, never doubt that a small group of generous people can change the world. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jim. I ask you all now to participate in a responsive reading titled Litany of Compassion by Dennis McCarty. After I read each short paragraph, we'll join our voices in the refrain phrase, which is printed in your order of service. May we reach out in honesty and love. In the spirit of love, harmony, and remembrance, we stand too often divided, too often set apart from one another in heedless ways. We seek to be compassionate, but our vision may be clouded or distracted. We too often go forward day by day and look without seeing. May we reach out in honesty and love. May we work to heal the divisions which separate Earth's children, one from another. May we peer through the mists of deception which hide and deny violence, mists enclosing those who suffer. May we not allow the misuse of our fellow souls to hide in broad daylight. May we reach out in honesty and love. When we see the afflicted, however they may be afflicted, may we not shrink away. May we not blame suffering on the one who suffers. May we be courageous enough to perceive suffering and compassionate enough to attend to the voices of those who suffer. May we reach out in honesty and love. When we see prejudice, when we hear evil speaking, when we witness the rough hand or the scathing word laid upon the helpless or innocent, may we resolve to work toward unity and justice. May we reach out in honesty and love. May we not turn away from the wounded head of the abused. May we not accept the twisted reasoning by which the oppressor declares himself the victim. May we reach out in honesty and love. Let our gratitude for good fortune in our lives lead us not to complacency, but to awareness. Awareness of those whose lives are shadowed by abuse or neglect. May we not ignore signs of deceit or denial that hide brutality. May we reach out in honesty and love. In all things, May those who suffer ever be able to approach us, find a kindly ear and supporting hand. May we witness for love and justice at every level of relationship. May we nurture a keen eye and a strong and loving heart for any who fear the hurtful rod, the cutting voice, the uneven hand, the chain of oppression, great or small. May we reach out in honesty and love. Now, because great minds think alike, I invite you to rise in body or spirit to join our voices in hymn number 170. We are a gentle, angry people, and we will sing verses 1, 2, 4, and 6. We'll be skipping 3 and 5. This morning, I'm going to share with you a homily written by a Unitarian Universalist layperson named Heide Gustafson. Heide Cottam Gustafson is a member of the Unitarian Universalist Church of Ogden, Utah, and has held many leadership positions in her congregation. Among her achievements as a Unitarian Universalist, in 2018, the UUA's Mountain Desert District honored her with its Walk the Talk Award, which is bestowed on a Unitarian Universalist layperson for living a life that exemplifies Unitarian Universalist principles. On the UUA website and elsewhere on the internet, she is named Heide Cottam. This name is also in her email address, but when responding to an email from me, she signed her name as Heide Gustafson. This homily, bearing witness, was added to the worship web on the UUA's website in January 2019. I believe it was written in 2018, and some of its content reflects that time frame. Heide Gustafson writes, "Here's a quiz about time travel posed by a friend of mine. Suppose you had a time machine, but it only went back in time to specific events. If you used the time machine, you could only be a witness. You could not influence the events in any way, and no one would be aware of your presence. Would you use it? Would you use the time machine if it would return you to a Cape Cod whale hunt where you would observe but could not interrupt the harpooning and slow death of a whale. Could you tolerate that? Would you watch Hannibal's crossing of the Alps in the Second Punic War, which resulted in the tortuous death of war elephants? Or Julius Caesar's death by betrayal? It's an interesting proposition, bearing witness to significant but uncomfortable moments in history. Changing nothing, but seeing the truth of it play out. Given the opportunity, do you think you would take advantage of this imaginary time machine? Bearing witness is an act of compassion, of empathy, of solidarity, and of justice. Bearing witness is holy. Humanity is at its most powerful and transformative when we experience the truth of one another. Some of you may be thinking to yourselves that you don't need to see pain up close and personal to feel empathetic or to understand injustice. None of us here needs to observe from the edges of a slave auction to know how terrifying and depraved those auctions were. We don't need to spend a day at any of the 40,000 extermination and concentration camps from World War II to know what happened in them is unspeakably horrific. Except it isn't just about knowing that these things were wrong. It's about understanding in our bones what it means that the history of genocide is now built into every Jewish family's DNA, and slavery into every African American's. It's about facing our sins against humanity. It's knowing the crimes of which people are capable. Every day, news headlines are filled with evidence that we, as a country, have failed to fulfill the ideals of liberty and justice for all. We are a nation founded on the genocide of indigenous people and the enslavement of men, women, and children of Africa. In the two extreme examples I've mentioned already, American slavery and the Holocaust, there have been two vastly different outcomes. After the Second World War, Germany, as a country, faced what it had done. They looked at it squarely, without excuses or failed reasoning, and began to rebuild their country on the foundational premise that they could never let it happen again. In fact, this is where the simple phrase, "never forget," came from. It began as an admonishment to themselves to keep them from returning to the path of their vilest acts. Germany bore witness. America has not yet faced our history of slavery, nor the malicious colonization and oppression of the indigenous peoples. We did not come out of that time and acknowledge what we'd done. Instead, we made excuses or tried to compromise with racism in other ways. Some looked away in apathy. Others have looked away in discomfort. We cannot make it right because we do not yet bear witness to our truth. Every week, Black Americans are murdered because we haven't been able to reconcile our past and rebuild from it. Children are being held in cages in camps because we have not yet borne witness to our own concentration camps of World War II. We still want to call them internment camps and justify that they weren't the death camps of Auschwitz or Dachau. It is easy to look away right now. This is hard and uncomfortable and terrifying. Bearing witness to what is happening around us now is hard. It is also easy to feel hopeless. We are on a path bloodied with our past violence and walking toward war and genocide. I implore you today, do not turn away and do not lose hope. Face what we are doing and have done. Find hope that there are more and more voices rising against our sins. And if you cannot find hope, then become it. Ready your lives to be the sanctuary for others. Pray with me now. Spirit of life, we humble ourselves before love. We take to our knees in protest of the violent acts against humanity, and we commit ourselves to the work of abundant love and healing. We face ourselves as individuals and as a people. We acknowledge our complicity in racism, xenophobia, and the brokenness which allows them to flourish in these lands. We see the harm we are inflicting on others and the new cycles of brokenness we cause. We commit ourselves to the work of abundant love and healing. We do not turn away from our victims of mass incarceration, police brutality, depraved immigration policies, oppression of human rights and freedom. We hold the entirety of the experience, their suffering and our responsibility, and we commit ourselves to the work of abundant love and healing. We see each other's tears and know we play a part. We commit ourselves to the work of abundant love and healing. We humble ourselves to each other, knowing we cannot change the past, but we can build a different future. We commit ourselves to the work of abundant love and healing. Spirit of love, we commit ourselves to the work of abundant love and healing. Please rise and bow your spirit to join our voices in hymn number 1022, Open the Window. We'll sing verses 2 and 5, skipping the first, starting with the refrain and then skipping the first verse. The refrain is the beginning.
So to be clear, we're singing 2 and 5, right?
We're singing 2 through 5.
2 through 5, thank you.
Yes.
Would everyone like me to teach this song? I don't know if we've sung this much together, so I'll teach this in 2 parts. So the first will be what Ostara was referring to as the refrain. So it's at the beginning. It goes, open the window, children, open the window now, open the window, children, open the window, let the dove fly in, open the window, let the dove fly in. Try that with me, here we go. Open the window, children, open the window now, open the window, children, open the window, let the dove fly in, open the window, let the dove fly in. Okay, now I'm going to start on verse 2 because we're going to be skipping 1 when we do this later. So it goes, neighbors lock their doors, make fences so high, open the window, let the dove fly in. Don't see what's to discover on the other side, open the intimidating. It's okay. I'll come right at you. 2, ready. Neighbors knocking doors, little fences so high. Open the window, let the dove fly in. Go see what's to discover on the other side. Open the window, let the dove fly in. Okay, I think you are well prepared. I'm gonna count us in. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. In the window, let the dove fly in. Open the window, children. In the window now. In the window, children. In the window, let the dove fly in. In the window, let the dove fly in. Neighbors knocking doors, little fences so high. In the window, let the dove fly in. Let's see what's to discover on the other side. In the window, let the dove fly in. In the window, children. In the window now. In the window, children.
Hear the words of Andrea Hawkins Camper. May we see all as it is, and may it all be as we see it. May we be the ones to make it as it should be. For if not us, who? If not now, when? This is answering the cry of justice with the work of peace. This is redeeming the pain of history with the grace of wisdom. This is the work we are called to do, and this is the call we answer now. To be the barrier and the bridge. To be the living embodiment of our principles. To be about the work of building the beloved community. To be a people of intention and a people of conscience. Go in peace, carrying our light out into the world. Amen.